Now there's my bullet, and all I want to show you now is how to attach the bottom jaw. So I have made, it's almost like an ear shape, which we explained to you how to do it. And even though I love this wool mat, it looks just like my wolf, so I'm going to not have that there now. And so you've got a felted bottom jaw here with wispy ends here. And all you're going to do now is you're attaching this to the base of that particular shape here. And it tells you in the instructions too that this part here, the top part, is felted down quite solidly because there's lots going on the head of the wolf, and that needs adjusting. As an extra tip, when you needle felt, especially with this Lanolin Rich wool, it really sticks quickly together, but it's also really easy to still pull. If you've made it too short, just give it a little tuck and you can actually extend it a bit longer. And this is where the instructions come in really handy, because as I said, you have got the template at the back, and the template this time is a little bit more complicated. Where's my wolf? There. Is a little, I don't want to say complicated, but it's a little bit more complex in that you have a template here which has got several lines on there, and you just need to read the little explanation here. So the blue line is the body and lower jaw shapes before sculpting. So this is basically, once you've attached it, that should basically be sort of like the blue line fitting in there. And then the red line is the final outline when all parts are attached, shaped and colored. And the green dotted lines are the area guides when coloring in. So the green lines is only when you add the body surface colors onto it. So all I'm doing now is I'm just attaching this bottom jaw, which looks not very secure at all once you've attached it, but I'm just literally stabbing it into the sort of just the lower part of that pointy bit, and it needs to be slightly shorter than the bottom one, because you don't want an overbite. You want it to be so that when you close it, it's slightly below the nose part. And you just stab that in. And then you are going to cover, because you don't want an open jar like this. That doesn't look very natural. You're going to use a little bit of that Lanolin Rich wool, and you're closing the mouth up a bit by laying wool onto the side. So you're covering that part up and felting it so it becomes a more natural looking open mouth, rather than just a bottom jaw that's been attached. We're not doing Punch and Judy here. If you find that this is too long, then you can always shorten it by going alongside it. It might just open it up a little bit, but you can also do the same from the other side. So I need to lay a little bit more wool over the top there to make that jaw more integral. So I'm literally just making the bottom jaw integral to the head, the remaining of the wolf. And that will become, it will just be a natural thing that you're doing, and you just keep stabbing it in, and the join will be covered up. And then obviously you have to do this on the other side as well. There. So it doesn't look quite so attached anymore as it does here. Still looks really open and literally just fastened on, which is exactly what's happened. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm using my medium needle for this because the Lanolin Rich is quite a dense wool, notwithstanding that it has got that extra sort of sheep fat in there, which works best with a medium needle rather than using a coarse needle. And I'm stabbing this down and evening this out again, so that I now have got, this is what I'm saying, you end up with looking like a shark, yeah, it just looks not like a wolf at all. The magic of the transformation taking place is when you start adding the mixed color of the wool butts on top. So when you're basically adding the fur color on top. I haven't coughed all morning. It's just this continuous talking. Just having a sip of my peppermint tea for a change. Okay, so Once you've done this, then you take some of the dyed black. So you get dyed black and natural stone lamb, which is a natural black. And the difference is that one, I don't know if the camera will pick this up very easily, but one, this is the dyed black. It's completely black, has got no other color fibers running through it. This one here has got sort of a gray fiber running through it. You might not pick that up in the camera shot here. And then you're going to color in the inside of the mouth. Now, what's really important, and the reason why I'm demoing this, is because you want it to be concave. You don't want it to be bulging. So that, you know, you want it to be, imagine the inside, like the gums, it's a hollow denting inward rather than outward. So this is a good opportunity to really work on that jaw by making it firmer, and by stabbing into it. And you're doing this at the top and at the bottom. Now we'll just give a warning. Some of you might want to add some teeth into it. Feel free to do that. I tried that with my wolf. It is really hard to make it look like teeth. It just looks like an old wolf who's grown really long in the teeth and is about to die. So I didn't go for this option. I thought, let's keep it simple. And then you're just stabbing into the bottom part of the jaw, and you do really want this to be nice and black, because it's not that it's black naturally, it's just because it's so dark. And make sure that you have that inward bulge, so you can't really see that very well. So the mouth is a lot more wide open than it will be when the wolf is howling, but at the moment that's fine, because all we want to do is fill that area with black and make it really, really firm. We don't want to see any fluffy bits here, because the wolf obviously hasn't got a fluffy gum at all. It needs to be nice and neatly and felted down very solidly, so that you get that sort of concave shape. So you want it to be inward, yeah, like bulging inward rather than outward. And of course, like with anything, you will be felting all around. And this is the point where I think you always pointing out, it doesn't look anything like a wolf. No, it doesn't. Absolutely right. And that's just the transformations that you have to endure before you get to the finished project. And I show you on the pictures that I'm not making this up. This is basically the part where we're at now. And this is exactly what it looks like. So it is really not, it really doesn't look much like a wolf at all at the moment. And this is not in the order of how I'm doing this, but it's just another technique I want to show you. When you get to attaching the nose, you will be using the black again. And before you get to this, in the instructions, you'll be doing something else. But I just want to show you this while I've got my wolf here. Take some black, and then you just sculpt it onto the tip of the face as you're going along. Now, what you need to be mindful of is that this bit here, from here to here, you want it flat. You don't want the nose to form a bulge. So make sure that when you're felting this on, that the top of the nose is actually, the top of the jaw, the upper jaw, is in line with the nose. So you're literally folding, felting that nose on as you're going along. And what we've done is we have actually put a picture of a real wolf's nose into the instructions to give you an idea, just finding it now, what you're heading for. So it's here. There you are. That is the nose here, and so it's slightly tapered towards the mouth, but it's really flat at the top. So when you are felting your nose on, make sure that you've got it flat at the top, and then start tapering it towards the top lip. That's it. And the other thing that you will be doing, what I noticed now, is that my top part is actually getting smaller. So I'm going to felt the bottom jaw down a little bit again. This is one of the things that will happen when you needle felt your wolf, that you will find bits are shrinking that were just exactly the right shape. So you're going to have to adjust the shape around it just to get it back on track. Which is also why in the instructions you can see that the finished shape is much, much different from when you first just have that white lanolin rich shape. As soon as you start adding features, it will become very different. Now, the nose will be easier to felt when you do it because you've got more areas that give you a guide, because you will have already got the eyes in place and the ears. But I just thought I'd show you another little bit of a technique. So when you've got fluffy fibers and you're trying to get rid of them, you can actually sort of twizzle your, I just need to get some out again. You can actually twizzle them around your needle. Can you see how they are? Let me just see if I can get this a little bit more clearer. So if you've got wispy fibers like this and you can't stub them in, just twizzle them around your needle like that and then stub them in. So you're almost getting hold of them on the tip of your needle and then stub them in. That is the technique that I wanted to show you. You will also be mixing wool to make, actually it's only a bottom lip. You're only adding a bottom lip. And to add the bottom lip, you're using the brown wool, and I'm just trying to find that now. Yeah, you're using the brown wool, which is this one here. That's our Caracal Merino, and then you're taking the dyed black as well. So the dyed black is for everything fine on the wolf. You're not starting to use the natural black until you're getting to the top coat. And to mix wool, just so that you remember how to do that, just hold it between your fingers and pull it. Keep the fibers running in the same direction, especially for the top coat of the wolf, because all you will be doing for the top coat is you will be working with that brown, the natural black, the grey, and the lanolin rich. These are the 4 colors that you will be mixing your top coat for the wolf, and I show you that in a minute as well. But this is how you mix the wool. And then for the bottom lip, so all of this is just to show you how you make that nose and the face. You felt this into the wolf's bottom jaw, just as a bottom lip, and you might have to add a bit more black into the jaw itself again, because as you're felting this down more solidly, you might find that the wool sinks into the white and it's actually leaving some white gaps. And that is what you're doing with the wolf and the jaws, top and bottom. If the fibers are coming out on the other side, don't worry, like they have done here. You can leave it because they might have sort of a few wispy stray fibers on their chin anyway, or you can just cover it up again with white. And in my case here, I've got to put a little bit more black into the jaw because I've actually felted it down so much that the white is exposed again. And that's basically all I wanted to show you for the mouth and the nose, even though the nose is, I've done this in a different order in the instructions. And then the main thing is that you look at it and you find that the symmetry. So adjust the symmetry as you look at it from the front. I can see the nose is not at all symmetrical. So I'm trying to make the wolf symmetrical. That's one of the main challenges that you will have with this project, is to keep things symmetrical. But remember, even if it's not symmetrical now, don't worry too much about it. You have lots of time to give it the finishing touches as and when your wolf is covered in the top coat. And that is all I want to say about the head and the jaw here at the moment. So don't worry about the wolf looking like a dolphin. Don't worry about it looking like a shark. And at some point when the legs are attached, it looks like an albino toad. It's all gonna be fine.